Story 1. The Woman in the Window. I've always enjoyed late-night walks. There's something about the stillness that makes everything feel simpler. I'm a welder by trade, been doing it for over 40 years now. I live alone on a big farm with just me and my dog, Bosley. The house is too large for one person, but I never had the heart to downsize after my wife Maria passed away. My kids moved out years ago, and ever since cancer took her, it's just been me and Bosley. One night, after a long day in the shop, I decided to go for a walk. My property is pretty big, so just a single loop is usually enough. The air was cool, and Bosley trotted along beside me. I've walked that loop hundreds of times, but as I was heading back toward the house, something caught my eye. I glanced up at the second-story window, the one that looked out from the bedroom Maria and I used to share. For a split second, I thought I saw something move. I froze. That room had been untouched for years. My blood boiled at the thought of a stranger breaking in. I stormed inside, ran upstairs, and found the room empty. Nothing out of place. I tried to shake it off, but something felt wrong. The next night, Bosley growled in the middle of the night. He never barked without reason. Then I heard it, creaking from upstairs. Footsteps, coming from the room above mine, my wife's old room. I grabbed a flashlight, heart pounding, and went to check. Again, nothing. Untouched. But then, the small things started happening. Kitchen lights left on, creaks in the walls. The police searched the place, but they found nothing. I began to panic, and then came the night I'll never forget. I opened that old bedroom door and froze. Maria's clothes, the ones I had packed away years ago, were scattered across the floor. And then I saw her. A woman stood in the doorway, staring at me. She wasn't Maria. She was too short. I lunged at her, but she bolted down the stairs and out the door. Gone. From then on, the torment escalated. I saw her again, standing in my yard, watching me through the window. I fired shots into the air to scare her off. She ran, but the fear never left. I know she'll be back, and next time, I may not be ready. Thank God for Bosley. Without him, I don't know what I'd do. Story 2. The Volkswagen at McDonald's. I work for a catering service, which means I'm on the road a lot, usually late at night. The hours suck, and by the time I get home, I'm either wired from caffeine or too exhausted to move. One night, around 2 a.m., I was starving. I pulled into a McDonald's drive-thru, a few cars ahead of me, and that's when I noticed it. In the corner of the lot, a beat-up Volkswagen, tinted windows, engine off, just sitting there. No one inside went into the restaurant. It was drive-thru only at that hour. Something about it unsettled me. I shook it off, grabbed my food, and drove away. But instead of going home, I decided to eat at a lookout point on a mountain preserve near my house, a nostalgic spot. When I pulled into the empty gravel lot, I saw headlights, another car pulling in. My blood ran cold. It was the same Volkswagen. I sat there, frozen, until my friend Sebastian arrived. I convinced him to meet me. We started walking the path to the lookout, trying to ignore the dread. But before the parking lot disappeared from sight, I glanced back. The Volkswagen's doors opened all four at once. 4 men stepped out, just stood there, staring. We made it to the top, trying to calm down, when 3 of them approached us, laughing, pretending to be friendly, offering us a smoke. But I remembered there had been 4. 1 was missing. And then Sebastian pointed into the trees. The 4th man was standing there, half hidden, holding something. We ran, sprinting down the path as they chased us. We barely made it to our cars, flooring it out of there. Later, we found out the man was a former McDonald's employee who had been fired after harassing his ex-girlfriend. He had a restraining order and had been stalking the place. I don't know why they followed me that night. I just know we weren't supposed to walk away, and I'll never set foot in that McDonald's parking lot again. Story 3. The Church on Elmwood Avenue. I grew up in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Not much happens there, so as teenagers, we entertained ourselves by sneaking into abandoned buildings. There was one church on Elmwood Avenue, 198 Elmwood, that became our go-to. It was old, creepy, and surrounded by a chain-link fence. Inside, the first floor had been ripped out, leaving only dirt and a set of concrete stairs leading down to the basement. That's where we always ended up. There were 3 rooms down there. One had a door. One fall evening, 6 of us went in. We were drinking, laughing, messing around, when suddenly, bang, a door slammed, loud. We froze. Half the group bolted, but 3 of us, me, Max, and Allie, stayed behind. We opened the room where the door had slammed. Inside was a cracked mirror on a dresser, smeared with dark red stains. At first I thought it was paint, but it was still sticky, fresh. And then I saw the photo, an old black and white picture of a woman in a wedding dress. Her smile was wrong. Before I could react, another sound came from the next room, the room we had just left. That was enough. We ran. As I climbed the fence, I glanced back. In the open window of the church, a silhouette was watching us. We never went back. Years later, I learned the church had been demolished, but the memory never left. I don't know if it was a person or something else, but I know what I saw that night, and I'll never forget it.